Hello and welcome back to Short Points. This week the lesson is Christ, the end of the law. Are we finishing the study about the law? It's weird that the end is in the middle of the quarter. Apparently there is much more into it, so let's see. What are we talking about? We start with two Adams, the original one and a second one impersonated by Jesus.
Sin, law, condemnation, death. Can you picture this? Through Adam we were dragged in this formula of life. Here comes Jesus as a gift from heaven, and the formula changes. Gift, grace, righteousness, life. What happened with the law? Where did it go?
We have to play theologians this week. I mean everyone, individually, and study the text from the lesson. It's a nicely confusing experience, but hey, this is the beauty of it. So, what did you find from Paul? Where did the law go when grace appeared?
Is the law excluded from the new formula of life we call saved by grace? Are we fine with that? I don't think so. The law still points out to the sin which apparently is still present. The problem appears to be the sin that triggers eternal death. So the law is still good and holy, but it doesn't save us. Grace is the one that sets us free from sin, that brings death.
You know, I feel very close this cry of Paul when he says, "O wretched man that I am, who is going to deliver me from this body of death?" Are you struggling, or have you struggled with addictions, destructive desires, weakness? Sin has a very strong grip, but if we can recognize it, it's because of the moral law inside of us. If we can overcome it, it's because Christ beat it up by proving it wrong, by defeating its accusations, sacrificing himself for us. This is our grace. Now you can continue being the same. It doesn't matter anymore. This is the end of the law. Is it like that?
How is Christ then the end of the law? Or more so, what does it mean that he is the end of the law? An appropriate translation of the Greek word for end, telos, will be a goal, a purpose. So Paul's words then would sound a little bit different. It will be Christ is the purpose, Christ is the goal of the law. What is the goal of the law if not to bring awareness for sin, to indicate righteousness? Like a morning alarm that sounds loud and clear when we sin. Finally, what the law does is it leads us to Christ who grants us righteousness.
If we want to experience how insufficient we are, how weak and how sinful, try to keep the law on your own. It's hard. It's discouraging and impossible. This should show us that we need help. It should lead us to the sacrifice made for us. Our righteousness is in Christ. This is how Paul puts it in Galatians. The law is our tutor to bring us to Christ that we might be justified by faith.
So, we are far away from being done with the law. It's still very much alive in us. It turns our heads toward Jesus and it leads us to the merciful.